Welcome to Guitars and Music. You see my Sonny and Cher original art there? Oops. It's kind of cool. Bought that at a flea market. My wife picked it up for me, and it's based on a TV guide from 1976, but it's a 2007 original painting, and I really like it. I thought the person did a good job, and I'm trying to find out more about the artist. We picked it up for not too much at a flea market, but it's original art, pop art, I guess you would call it. Hey, tonight I wanted to review the Boss PS6 harmonizer pedal. You'll notice when you're doing kind of like runs that are just nice, clean major chord runs in thirds, that's when I found it most effective. If I started trying to play some kind of little melody, I often found that it had trouble figuring out what you were kind of trying to do. Watch that. That's what you want. Here's this. Okay, if you look at this pedal, you can see it now. And by the way, I kind of discuss pedals from my own perspective. I'm not trying to do a professional demo of the pedal. I'm not an expert on pedals. I do play the guitar. I played the guitar a long time, though, so in some ways I think I might be a good person to listen to, if in some ways better than some guy in a music store that shows you every little nook and cranny of a pedal. I'll just give you my take on it. But this is a balance. This you can kind of dial in whether it, this is just basically no harmonizer. This would be all harmonizer, I guess, and this would be kind of a mix of your dry tone and then the harmony tone. This sets the harmony. I just left it at 12 o'clock, which I think is thirds. You get sort of pitch shifting, like down, down or sharp a little bit, flat a little bit. I don't know. You get some kind of weird sounds out of it. You watch some of the other YouTube videos, they will explain it to you. I wasn't too interested in that, so I didn't bother with it. This is the key. I played all night in G. And over here, you've got some things. You've got a, look at that. Mode, detune, a pitch shifter, and major and minor. One other thing I would say about this pedal is it's too little for me. One thing that is good, I like the Boss footprint on these pedals. It's I have a Boss BCB 60 pedal board, which I really like, and this fits right in there, so it's a good pedal for that. On the other hand, when you're trying to do a lot, and you're trying to put a lot in that little Boss shape, that kind of iconic Boss pedal shape, which I love. But if it's trying to do too much, I think you start to ruin the effect of having a nice, simple, clean Boss pedal. I like 3 knobs that are pretty much just up and down, left and right turns. I don't like having to look really carefully at a lot of little knobs and try to figure out what I'm doing. I can't see it, and I don't want to see it. Get this pedal, set it. Even just like trying to change the key from like G to C or E or something, it's too little. And when they try to put all that stuff in a little pedal, it sounds good, but there are too many little knobs, and you can't really see it. I have to look really carefully to, am I in G or G sharp? I mean, you have to really get down there and look. And okay, we're gonna try this thing out. First, we've got it off. And there's the clean sound. Okay, so, and it's just running through that Supro Blues King 10. You can see my review of it. It's an excellent amp. And I took off all the distortion except for some of the gain on the amp. So I'm not running it through a distortion pedal, no delay. There's a little bit of reverb on the amp. There's the clean sound. Let's try a couple leads. I've got it set with, it's just in the key of G major. and the blend's at 12 o'clock, and it's on Harmony. You know, it does pitch shifting and a bunch of stuff that I don't really want to mess with, but let's try it. Now, this is without anything. Shall we turn it up a little bit? Now, let's try it. See that? Now, right away, here's what I'm noticing. Unlike the harmonizers that go with your voice, and when you play guitar, it kind of reads the guitar chords. That's an important difference between a guitar pedal harmonizer and a voice harmonizer, because a voice harmonizer can harmonize with your voice, but it also reads your guitar chords. You'll notice when you're doing kind of like runs that are just nice, clean major chord runs in thirds, that's when I found it most effective. If I started trying to play some kind of little melody, I often found that it had trouble figuring out what you were kind of trying to do. So if you look at this, I notice it when I come down to the one note. If I'm playing something kind of melodic, there's no guitar chord reference, so it doesn't really when you land on a note, sometimes it doesn't know what chord you're playing, and it might hit it off, and that just throws off everything. So watch this. Now watch, right? Now I want to hit this note. Ba. And I'm going to hit it. And it doesn't... I want to go here. But it doesn't resolve. There's no way to resolve. So I'll turn it off. That's the note you want. That's the resolution on the... Well, I'm missing distortion, but I'm just real clean. Now, that's what I want. It sounds good when you do this. I guess that's not too bad. See, I want to hit right there. Ba. When you turn it off, I'll try it with it on. Doesn't sound too bad, does it? It's a cool pedal. You know, I grew up loving dual harmony leads. I guess the Allman Brothers might be considered pioneers of that, but you know, Dickie and Dwayne, when they played harmony leads, they were worked out, but they were also kind of idiosyncratic, and they each kind of took their own take on it. This thing is a machine. This you play a note and it just harmonizes automatically, which doesn't always work. You know, depends on what the melody and the chord structure is, but if you're just playing kind of major thirds and runs, it works really well. It's got that perfect harmony sound. It sounds kind of like a waterfall. I think it sounds good. It's a good pedal if you like that effect. I'm going to kind of conclude with some thoughts on the effect, not the pedal. But it's got that kind of waterfall sound, very melodic. What I notice is it's like those voice harmonizers. Everything's perfect. When I think about these pedals, the group I think of perhaps the most is 38 Special. Now, I don't know this for a fact, but on some of their songs like Hold On Loosely or So Caught Up in You, they had those really nice harmony runs. And I used to, when I was a kid, I thought, man, they must have a couple guitar players that are just absolutely in sync. But I'm pretty sure they were using some early version of a harmonizer pedal to get those harmony leads in some of those classic 38 Special songs. I don't know that for a fact, but I'm pretty sure. And if you listen to it, you can hear. And the difference is when you hear like the Allman Brothers do a harmony lead, you can tell it's two guitars. I mean, you can tell it's two guitar players. When you hear those 38 Special, it sounds like one guitar that's playing in like a perfect harmony with itself, which is a pedal. And there is a difference. Some ways I like the Allman Brothers approach better philosophically, and I also think it sounds cooler. It's kind of more organic and more authentic. I think that I was in the drugstore the other day, and I heard something playing over while I was buying something or another in the drugstore, and I heard a song just playing on the drugstore. I don't know what it is, but it was a new song, and these new songs use these voice harmonizers all the time, and the harmony sounded so perfect. It was just like every when you have background vocals and human beings singing, it's not ever that perfect, and it's better in a way, and not just because it's more human and in the sense that there are mistakes in it or something, but there this was just like a machine type sound. So if you were just kind of in the store listening to it, it sounded good, but I started listening to it, and it was just every little breath and nuance of this vocal was in tandem, and I think that's what this is. And there's an example. See, now that's a good G riff, good old country riff. Now you put this thing on, and it doesn't play. It doesn't know what to do with it. See, it's trying to figure it out. Watch that. That's what you want. Here's this. It's trying to figure it out. It can't figure it out. See that? There. I want to hit and have it resolve, and it doesn't understand that what your melody is trying to do. It just goes to those perfect thirds all the time. So when you're trying to resolve, a perfect third just turns it into a chord. You don't get the resolution of a nice melody that kind of resolves at the end of the phrase or something. I had trouble. I didn't think it worked as well with the minor keys, but maybe I needed to mess with it more. But the natural go to is that nice kind of bright major melodic run. The minor keys and some of the other things didn't work as well, and I didn't really try some of the shifter, the tone shifters, and the detunes. I wouldn't have too much use for that. And I think if I really wanted that, I might get a one pedal that did that instead of trying to have all those things on one pedal. So my positive experience with this pedal was playing in major keys, just kind of soloing in sort of nice melodic lead lines. That was my take. I think it does that very well, with all the caveats that I've given. I think Boss has made a good pedal though. Let's try it in the minor key. I don't think it works that well in minor. At least I'm not feeling it. So if it's G minor, maybe. So if you go from when I think of going to minor and you're playing in the key of G, I would go to E minor, the relative minor. Let's see, this might mean actually G minor, which isn't related to the key of G. There we go. There you get a minor. But there it's major. I don't know how it reads that. It doesn't know what to do. I don't know when if you just want to minorize something. I don't know if it works that well, but maybe I'm not using it right. But in conclusion, I think it's a good pedal. I think there's some limitations with the harmonizer itself. I think that's more true with the guitar pedal than with, say, like the harmonizer that's on my little Boss Singer songwriter amp. I don't know if you saw the little review I did of that, and I did a harmonizer demo. There you can play the guitar, and it kind of reads your guitar. It still has some problems if you're doing something where the melody and the voice, kind of offset each other. It gets confused sometimes, but it's better. I think this is good if you're just playing really melodic, major, bright leads, and you're not doing anything that's too specific melodically, because it can't read any kind of melody that's too specific. You're liable to hit a note that it doesn't know what to do with. So in conclusion, I do think it's a good pedal. I recommend it. I don't think all the things that this pedal does, I don't think are anything I would particularly have a need for, and don't seem that mainstream. I mean, if I were doing like experimental electronic music or something, maybe. But the setting that I thought found the most immediately good was playing in a major key and just kind of doing some kind of light melodic soloing, but nothing so melodic that you really, if you hit a resolution note, because a lot of times it can't read like when you're at the end of a phrase versus just running a scale. But if you're just running scales, yeah, you get those nice thirds. Kind of reminds me of piano lessons. Those just nice third scales running up and down. So that it does that very well. I do think it's worth it. I think it's worth the money. Um, I actually wish they didn't have some of the other things on it. Um, so